What's up, everybody? You're listening to Podcastrophe. You can find us by searching Podcastrophe on all of your favorite podcasting platforms like Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and more. You can also find us at JourneyIntoComics.com. We drop a new episode every single Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to Podcastrophe to get the show and exclusive content. We record each episode live every Tuesday around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, and you can watch that on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just follow Podcastrophe on any of those platforms, and be sure to chat with us. Also, be sure to check out the Journey into Comics Network and all of its amazing shows. Now, on with the show!
The following Journey into Comics.
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 Journey into Comics
Network.
Production.
This is Podcastrophe. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Podcastrophe. You haven't heard my voice in a while. This is Old Dad, Big TY, Papa T, the spookiest of boys, because it is the month of October and it is also my month of birth. I'm almost 30 years old.
Close.
Close. This is Dave.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Dave.
He's also a spooky boy.
I'm always in any month. I'm always a spooky boy.
He's spooky. Bear with us, folks, while we do this, because we are dealing with technical difficulties.
Quite a bit of technical difficulties.
We're doing our best to work through them. Try this that way, and see if it makes a difference.
Is this better?
That's much better.
Ooh, okay.
I can turn you down a little bit.
Ooh.
Try that.
How's this?
Perfect.
Awesome.
Perfection. All right, so again, just bear with us. This is not going to be, one, a super long episode, two, a super grandiose production.
That's all you need.
Because Dave and I, we're just spooky boys, and we're not robot boys. We're not robo boys.
We're not robo boys. Not at all.
And this is technology hurts our brain meats sometimes.
Just two spooky boys in the city.
Not robo boys. We wish we were robo boys. But yeah, Dave and I just spent the last probably 40 minutes trying to get our recording device / software / hardware and all of that to function. And it was not easy.
Well, Tyler did most of it. I just kind of thought about potato chips.
Which is weird because I was also thinking about potato chips.
What?
Literally the entire time. That's probably why it took us so long.
Sounds about right.
To get where we're at. But so for anyone that's obviously been listening, Dave has been filling in for me in my interim.
It's been fun, but I've missed you.
We have kind of a musical chairs of podcasting situation going on with Podcastrophe right now. I've still got a lot going on with work and school, and I'm not really available on Tuesdays anymore. because of school. And then Wednesday, I have some family commitments and whatnot. So Dave has stepped up to the plate, which has been fantastic. Very much appreciated.
No problem. I do what I can. Happy to help.
But such is just kind of the trend of the season. It's the fall.
Yep.
It's getting to be the holidays. It's getting spooky.
Getting spooky.
As we've alluded to over a dozen times so far. It's like the busiest time of the year for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's the time of pumpkin patches and trick or treat, and then shortly after that we've got Thanksgiving, which is, you know, one of the most stressful holidays of the year for everybody. And then you roll that right into Christmas,
which is even more stressful.
Well, I mean, yes, and it's really sad because it's stressful for an entirely different set of reasons.
Yes.
You know, with Thanksgiving, I don't know I don't know personally like what stresses you about holidays, but we've talked about it on the show in the past. For me, it's like I'm a person that likes to be in control, and that's why like over the last couple years I've slowly taken control of my family's Thanksgiving, where I'm setting the time frames and you know, I'm cooking the meals and stuff like that, because especially now, you know, I'm married, we've got a little girl.
Right.
I've got to do like 6 Thanksgivings instead of the majority of my life. I've only just done one.
The one. Yeah, right.
So that was culture shock for me. Now that I'm, you know, almost 30 years old. We're getting old, Dave.
I know we are, man. It sucks.
But you've got like fighting the grocery store and getting the meals prepared,
which is never that much fun.
No, and then Black Friday shopping and stuff like that. But then like Christmas, it's like for a long time, and I apologize for anybody listening to it, I'm still fighting a cold. But like with Christmas, you've got, and I don't know how you feel about it, but like for a long time, I thought that once I like became a contributing member of society, that like I had to buy all my family like illustrious gifts, and I had to get my friends gifts and stuff like that. And I finally dial all that back because none of that shit matters.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I've always had that problem where like I want to buy stuff for everyone, but I'm like, I can't do that. No.
Well, it's like, you know, my grandma gets me stuff for Christmas or for my birthday every year. And it's like, you don't, thank you.
Right,
but
yeah.
you don't have to.
Exactly,
if I want something, I'll go get it, you know? So it's a weird time of the year.
It really is. I agree. And then you got like, you know, spending more time with family. I don't know, your family situation. My family situation is pretty okay, but it still could be stressful for...
You spend time with people that you don't normally spend a lot of time with, you know, aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers and sisters, the whole shebang.
Drunk uncles.
Drunk racist uncles. Drunk racist, super right-wing political uncles.
Yep.
The drunk racist, super left-wing aunts. Because everyone has one of those too.
There's one. There's always one.
It's just, man, it is the season of stress.
Yes.
And, you know, if anyone has listened to this show in the past or knows me personally, I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. And like, my wife and I had this conversation today. And it's ironic that we're talking about this. We took Ruby to the pumpkin patch today.
Oh, nice.
Sure, you saw our nice little pumpkins outside.
I did, yeah.
We go to the same pumpkin patch every year. We've been going to the same pumpkin patch for a long time. I went there when I was a kid.
Nice, that's awesome.
The Congress Street Church. You know where Columbia Park's at?
Yeah.
You know, the big church that's right across from Columbia Park.
Yeah, okay.
Right there on Main Street where they're tearing the road up.
Okay, yeah, I know where you're at. Talking about.
So that church, when I was in elementary school, I would go there. The one year that I went to Oakland, I would go there for their after-school program or whatever.
Okay.
And the people were all really nice. It wasn't like, obviously it's church, so it's religious.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like in your face.
They weren't pressing it.
They weren't trying to cram the Bible down my throat.
Just good.
You know, so I got to know some of those people, and like all the pumpkins are donated.
Oh, cool.
All the money from the pumpkin patch is then donated back into the community. Children, homeless,
nice,
needy kid. I mean, the whole gamut of worthwhile charities. This church does what a church should do: give to the sick, the needy,
Right.
and the poor. You know, they
not
just
just give to themselves.
not Joel Osteen it and have
Yep.
billion-dollar properties and private jets and that, you know, that whole shebang.
Yeah.
So we really enjoy going there. But back to my Scrooge thing, like, we went, Ruby picked out a pumpkin right away. I was letting Skylar pick out a pumpkin, and then I was going to get one. We were each going to get a pumpkin. And Skylar's like, well, we're going to carve pumpkins, and I hate carving pumpkins.
Really?
I hate it.
Hate carving pumpkins?
It's just a waste, man.
Kind of is.
And then you got to deal with a rotten pumpkin.
It's true. They don't last nearly as long when you cut 'em.
When I was a teenager, I used to smash fucking people's pumpkins because it was hilarious. Now I feel bad about it.
Now you feel real bad.
I feel real bad about it, man, because I just went and spent $30 on pumpkins. If someone smashed my $30 worth of pumpkins, I'd be pissed.
I'd be real pissed, yeah. Just right down the drain.
I'd be a spicy spooky boy. I'd be spicy.
But not a robo boy.
Not a robo spicy spooky boy. Just a spicy spooky boy.
Spicy spooky boy.
So yeah, and it's like I used to get a real Christmas tree every year for myself, and then I try and take care of my grandma as much as I can. So I would get her a
Right.
Christmas tree. You know, a real tree for a long time I thought was kind of a privilege, or not necessarily a privilege, but like a treat.
Tree, right, yeah.
But man, they're a fucking pain in the ass to
They
take
are.
care
They're
of.
Big pain in the ass.
You got to worry about it fucking burning your house down.
Yep.
Which is like, especially now that I'm a homeowner, the moment I walk out of this door every morning, I'm a pretty anxiety-ridden dude. I'm worrying about pipes busting. Did the furnace come on when it was supposed to? Is that fucking tree on fire?
Is the tree
Is
on
my
fire?
fish tank leaking? You know, that's just the shit that goes through my head all the
Right,
time.
yeah. I feel as a homeowner, that's pretty common for people.
And then it's not really now where I'm at, like, especially with all like the climate debate, and you know, I just want the fucking planet to be healthy. And it's like, we plant these trees, we cultivate these trees for 2 to 5 years, and then we cut them down, we put them in their living room, and then they fucking die.
Then they die. Yep. And then we throw them on the side of the road.
Throw them on the side of the road, or like me, I cut it up and dried the last one that I had out and used it for firewood because I've got a wood-burning fireplace. But so it didn't go 100% to waste. But the amount of people that do that is very small.
Very slim, yeah. And a lot of people just throw it out in the road.
So I went, the first year that we lived in this house, Skylar and I went the day after Christmas, had a real tree sitting right here. I hated the thing. Pine needles in my carpet. I
Yep.
still occasionally step on a pine needle
Really?
that was embedded into the carpet, and it
my
fucking
God.
jabs your foot.
Yep.
And I get mad, and I'm in pain. I'm bleeding.
Bleeding
You
for
know,
no
it's,
reason.
It's just not great.
No, not a good time.
But we went and got a artificial tree that's already got lights on it.
Those are nice. Those
And
are nice.
when I was a kid, I really enjoyed, doing the whole putting the lights on the tree, and now I just want to relax, man.
Right,
I don't want
exactly.
to fuck with a Christmas tree.
It's because we're adults now. We don't want to do all that extra stuff.
But my wife and my aunt and I were having this discussion at the pumpkin patch because I was kind of being a Scrooge a little bit because I don't want to carve a pumpkin. I don't like carving pumpkins. I don't like doing Christmas decorations, and I don't like coloring eggs for Easter.
Okay.
I don't like doing that shit. It's
sounds
just not fun.
That was reasonable.
If my kid wants to do it, I'll do it, but don't pressure me into doing it because I am adamant I will not do it.
Fair enough.
And my wife retorted with, well, I'm sorry that you didn't get to do that stuff as a kid. And luckily my aunt was there. She jumped in right away. I got to do all that shit.
Right.
I just never liked it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Like, come on, let's carve some pumpkins. I don't want to. I just want to go play video games.
Just want to go do something else.
Let me take a nap or something. No, we got to carve pumpkins.
Gotta have the pumpkins.
Pumpkins!
Fuck off, pumpkins.
So, sorry to exposition for so long, but it's just like there's all these like cultural expectations in society right now. You don't have to carve a pumpkin to celebrate Halloween.
Exactly.
Or you don't have to cut down a fucking live tree that's not sustainable, that we should be planning to provide our fucking species with oxygen instead of a place to hang plastic on.
Yep.
You know? We don't have to do any
Or
of that.
plaster.
Or plaster. Or semen or cats or
Yeah.
spooky
Just gonna
stuff.
go there.
Popcorn. Yeah, it's the most stressful time of the year for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but
Kind of, yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't do as much stuff. Like, I've never really, like, I was a kid, I carved pumpkins and all that kind of stuff. But, like, even when I got older, I'm like, I don't have to do this. But, like, I'll throw a tree up, but, like, it's not a real tree. It's, one of those plastic trees.
and I'm sure your grandparents appreciate the help. Like, Dave, will you please go get all the Christmas decorations?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like that's a feel good thing.
Yeah.
Because that's especially too, like, that's something that you and them share.
Exactly, yeah. And last year was the first time we did that in, like, because they've not been around Christmas time for about 30 years. Because they used to go to Texas right before Christmas.
Oh, so they'd always go on holiday, basically.
Yeah, and they'd stay for like 4 months, and now they sold their trailer. They're just getting, it's too much of a hassle
To travel.
Yeah, the travel.
Travel's a pain.
It really is. They I think only last like 6 years that they fly. Before they would just load up the van and drive.
Wow.
And then Grandpa kind of got tired of that, which I don't blame him.
No,
He's 84.
right.
So, and then their trailer park got to where, like, most of their friends were dying or dead or leaving. And then the trailer park it was just only a retirement park. And then it became like families were moving in and stuff. It became like not a retirement park. And so they sold. So last year was the first time that we had like Christmas.
I bet that was nice.
It was. We usually have it at my aunt's house, but we had it at my house, which is great for me. I could sleep in.
Yeah.
Wake up, boom, turkey.
Grandma, turkey. Davey need turkey.
Davey need the turkey.
Man, I'm so pumped for my turkey this year.
Dude, I love turkey.
Because now, like, no offense to my grandma, I love you, Gran, with all of my heart. You're one of the few people on this earth that I have emotion towards.
No.
That's positive. Dave, you're in there too.
No, shucks.
But, like, I've been eating my grandma's dried out turkey for fucking 28 years now.
Yep.
And it's like, So we went on vacation last year to Gatlinburg as a family. My aunt, my mom, my sister, her boyfriend, and then Skylar Ruby and I went. We rented a cabin.
Oh, nice.
And originally we were just going to do kind of like, like National Lampoon style. We're going to get pizza on Thanksgiving, or we're going to do like Christmas Story. We're going to fucking go to a restaurant or something like that.
Go to a Chinese restaurant.
And eat duck. Rah, 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 rah.
Rah, rah, rah.
But like leading up to it, I kind of thought, you know what? We're on vacation. This is something that my family has never done, ever really gone on a family vacation.
Right.
And I'm going to do it big. I'm going to put that cabin through its paces. I'm going to make the turkey and the stuffing, and my family, at least in my lifetime, has never really had like gravy and shit.
Really?
With
gravy?
Thanksgiving dinner? No. So I made from scratch gravy, no packets or none of that shit. We did it big in the cabin. But are you familiar with the chef Matty Matheson?
Yes, actually, very much so.
He is my favorite dude in the culinary world, obviously besides Captain Flavortown.
Oh, duh.
Captain Flavortown.
You can't hide the flavor.
In flavor we trust. But Matty Matheson, there's a couple of videos on YouTube like chronicling his life, like from his childhood until where he's at right now as a celebrity in the food world.
Right.
That guy was like a roadie and would do like grams of cocaine at a time.
Yeah.
It was very like Steve-O-esque almost,
Wow.
2 weeks before he was to graduate from culinary school in Ontario, because he's from Canada.
Okay.
He just went on, one of his his buddies has a metal band. He just went on tour with them.
Wow.
Fuck graduating,
Jesus.
So, but he's just so different. He's like me. When I was a teenager, one of the things that I really wanted to do was to go to culinary school because I love to cook.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
But I'm really glad I didn't, because I feel like it's one of those things where I would do it so much that I would not enjoy to cook anymore.
Right, you kind of lose the
passion.
flair for it. Yeah, passion. Yeah.
But he has a video on YouTube of him doing Thanksgiving dinner. And I saw that video like a couple months before we went on vacation, and he cooked an 11-pound turkey in 2 hours.
Damn.
Okay, real simple, just a roast bird. My grandma has cooked a turkey overnight since I was a child.
Oh god.
And
Yeah.
it's fucking dry, and I eat the fuck out of it. Don't get me
yeah.
wrong.
You definitely eat it.
I'm not gonna turn my nose up to Granny's turkey, but man, I'm cooking this turkey in the cabin, and my aunt's like bird dogging me. She's right over my shoulder. That turkey's not gonna be done. You only cooked it for 2 hours, Jackie. Please, please sit down. The turkey's gonna be done. You know, and I'm Aunt Jemima in the kitchen. I'm making fucking cornbread and gravy, and I'm just like running all over the place. And I bring this turkey out, and I let it rest, and I carve it up. And every single person that sat at that table said it's the best Thanksgiving turkey they've ever had.
Awesome.
My dick got so fucking hard.
Then it got awkward, but
well, it got awkward, but it's like that is such a win.
yeah,
You know, it's a bird, and people don't know how to fucking cook it.
yeah, exactly.
Watch Maddie Matheson's Thanksgiving cook the turkey fucking video. It'll change your life.
I'll have to check that out.
It's great.
Check that out. My grandmother and my grandpa kind of both
help
with the turkey.
So she lets him in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's
huh?
awesome.
And he's the only one that carves it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that carves it.
Daddy's got to carve the bird.
Yeah. And I think a couple years ago we even did I think my uncle did it. They did a deep fried turkey, and that was some good shit.
Oh, it's great, man.
Deep fried turkey is where it's at.
Yeah, if you have a way to deep fry a turkey safely.
Yes, safely is the key word.
Know, not putting them in there frozen and fucking exploding and or fucking catching your shit on fire and everything else. My dad has a deep fryer that sits on your kitchen counter. You put the whole fucking bird in it, close the lid, and it fries the turkey. You open the lid, pull it out. It's done.
Wow.
They're very expensive.
Yeah.
So it's not feasible for the average dude. But a good friend of ours, a mutual friend of my dad and I's, Mike Stinson, he smokes his bird for like 6 hours at super low temperature and then deep fries it.
Oh my!
That is the best turkey I've ever had.
I can imagine.
But it's like like when I was a kid, you know, we would have the turkey, and I just wanted to eat all the sides and shit. Like, I could give two fucks about the turkey.
Yeah.
I'll make turkey sandwiches for the next 2 weeks. I want a whole tray of deviled eggs to myself.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
I want to bathe my nipples in sweet potatoes.
Oh.
Like, I just want all the sides, man.
Fat guy porn right now.
Fat guy porn, for sure. Somebody out there is like, man, I am getting amped up.
Let's do this.
But, like, you know, it was so satisfying. You know, it's in the cabin, it's cold, we're in the mountains.
Yeah.
Fucking eating that turkey with the tryptophan and all the carbohydrates. That nap was so satisfying.
Yep.
That's what I'm looking forward to, man.
Gotta love that turkey
The
nap.
fucking turkey naps.
Yep. Oh my God, I am too, actually. Now that you mention it, I'm in.
Well, it's like, it kind of upsets me because we went to the grocery store yesterday and we were kind of browsing around. I'm not a cheap dude, but I don't like to waste money. So, and this just goes to show how like anal retentive I am. But like Marsh, the supermarket, okay, closed obviously around here. They're all gone. They carried a brand of turkey that they were the only ones. Norbest was the brand.
Norbest, okay.
And I fucking loved that turkey. Like, fuck Butterball. I wanted the Norbest turkey. They went out of business. My dad works in the meat industry. Started talking to him, started doing some research. Most of the turkeys that you get, so Honeysuckle White is one of the most expensive brands of turkey that you can buy in the grocery store, opposite of Butterball. Most of the time, if you go to like Target or Walmart, the Walmart or Target brand turkey is either a Honeysuckle White or Butterball turkey. They're from the same place.
Really?
So if you're in the grocery store and you see that Market Pantry brand turkey for 99 cents a pound and the Honeysuckle White for fucking $1.89 or $2 a pound, buy the generic one because it's the same fucking turkey.
Really? Wow.
And like, if you do research on what generics are, it's just out of spec on one parameter. So it might have 1% more saline solution injected into the breast than the name brand one. Or it might be the fat content of that bird might be a little bit higher than the name brand one. You're going to get as good, if not a better bird if you buy the generic.
Generic. Mm-hmm. Really? Wow. That's good to know.
A little bit of money saving tip for you there. Because like what I was getting at is I looked at the turkeys that Meyer had in the store yesterday. They're like $3 a pound.
Oh wow.
I would buy a couple turkeys and keep them in my freezer and do like a cookout or a fall party or a Friendsgiving or something like that. Or keep one in the freezer for like a summertime cookout, you know? Have you ever had a barbecue turkey? They're fucking incredible.
No, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sign me the fuck up.
Yeah. And, you know, you get 10 times the amount of fucking food that you do with a little chicken.
Yeah.
And they're great.
Man, I don't want turkey.
But I'm not going to pay, you know, $60 for a fucking turkey.
Right,
Because that's dumb.
Very.
So, that's my little...
Grandpa always gets, he always finds a deal. Like, Meyer has, 49 a pound or something. And him and I went, I think, last year, and it was, one per person. So I went and bought one, and then he bought one.
That's the way, you got.
Yep.
You got to game the system.
Yep.
Because if you don't game the system, they're going to take advantage of you.
Exactly.
You know, and so my last couple jobs that I've had, now that I've actually got a career, my job right out of high school, I drove a concrete mixer, drove heavy equipment, stuff like that. I was an operator. And the company that I worked for gave us a very substantial Christmas bonus, which was nice around the holidays. But they also gave us a Thanksgiving turkey and a Christmas ham.
Oh, nice.
And I wish that more employers still did that. Because back in the 50s and 60s, that was the norm.
Right, yeah,
Your company provided you with a turkey or a ham for the holidays. And it's not that it's necessary, but it's like, you know what? We want you to enjoy the holiday with your family.
Here you go.
Have this on us, you know?
Right.
I wish more businesses still did that.
Yeah, I think I've only worked for one place that did that. I worked at Dan Shan for a while, and they did, I think it was one year, it was ham. And I'd got a ham, and it was just me because my grandparents were in Texas, so I had a bunch of ham.
Right. But if you think about it, too, even if you're a single dude, but if you're a single mom or a single dad, or you've got a family, you're on a really tight budget, you know, that $20 that you spend on the ham, everyone should be able to have what they want for the holidays.
Yeah.
If you want a turkey on Thanksgiving, have a turkey. If you want a ham or a prime rib, maybe not prime rib, but if you want to have something alternative to a turkey, you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And what it cost, it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the stress and everything surrounding the holidays. You should not be stressed out around the holidays.
Exactly. It's supposed to be time for family. And then, like you said, I totally agree. And there's always that pressure to buy stuff, buy. We're in we live in a world where we have to buy, consumer capitalism.
Everything has to be based on the ideals of consumerism.
Yep.
You know, it's dumb. It gets me sad.
I'm getting sad now too. I was thinking about turkey. Now I'm sad.
Well, let's get back to turkey and sweet potato nipples.
Sweet potato nipples.
And anything else.
On Christmas, my family has prime rib. So you mentioned prime rib earlier. We have prime rib on Christmas.
Isn't it great?
It's amazing.
I think that I would not want it every year because a man can only eat so much prime rib.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
But eating a turkey every year doesn't get stale to me because it's a part of what Thanksgiving is.
Right, yeah, it's kind of ingrained almost.
We do a ham at Christmas. There's times that I would rather have a prime rib or maybe another turkey at Christmas. Because ham is ham. Ham is ham, man.
Yeah, ham is ham. No matter whatever fancy ham you're
ham.
getting, it's ham.
I've done a lot of fancy stuff with ham. I've bought ham that was just cured, not smoked it myself, glazed it. I've done a lot of different things to try and doctor ham up.
Yeah.
And it's still just salted pig, man.
Yeah, it's good, but
it's delicious.
Yeah, it's still
It's
ham.
just salt pig.
Yeah, salt pig.
Salt pig, which I love. But salt pig gets old.
It does. It does.
Prime rib.
Prime rib is forever.
Do you take your prime rib with lots of horseradish?
I do. Oh. That's like, I'm not a big horseradish guy, but like
I could use some right now to clear these
clear
sinuses
it up.
out.
Yeah, you can look at the sniffles, a little bit of the sniffles.
I like today. Today has been an exceptionally bad day for me. Not because I feel really bad. I actually feel pretty good.
Nice.
But it's like everything is trapped like right at the bridge of my nose. And I've done so much nasal spray the last like week and a half that I feel like, number one, I'm getting addicted to it, but number two, that like my nose is bleeding so much that it's actually making it worse.
Making it worse, yeah.
So I've had to wean myself off of the nasal spray, and I'm not sitting too hot.
Not sitting too hot today with it. Ugh.
I mean, I kind of feel like Charlie Sheen right now. Like I'm trapped on an airplane, and I don't have my bump spoon.
Spoon.
I don't have my spoon. Fuck.
We're all just looking for our spoon.
I've got my AIDS, but I don't have my spoon. Shit.
I'm not doing too bad today. I'm a little rough. I only slept like maybe 3 hours because I had some crazy happenings last night.
What happened, Dave? What was crazy?
All right, so I'm gonna keep this. I'm glad you brought this up. We kind of talked beforehand, but I'm gonna keep it as vague as possible.
We're not gonna name drop anybody.
No name dropping. So I have a friend of mine, pretty good friend.
Is
I met
his name
him.
Dave.
Well, yeah.
Is this one of those where you're actually talking
to myself?
Third person?
No. It might be. Who knows?
I mean, I wish we had like the one of the running gags on Podcastrophe is Blaine and I have always wished that we've had the backroom casting couch as the couch to sit our guests on. We've not acquired that yet. It's still in the works, but I wish for like these little talks, especially like with you and I, because we have such a good rapport and we don't ever get mad at each other.
Exactly.
I wish I had like one of those therapist, like red
little
velvet,
therapist.
One of the
Like
red
real
velvet
thin, couch kind of.
Yep. I wish that I had that so we could have this one-on-one right now, and I could sit here
therapy sesh,
like Basic Instinct.
Ooh.
And then show you my ding, and then
I mean, you can do that now. It's fine.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Right. I just did it. He saw my ding.
Yep. It was glorious.
But so you had a crazy night last night.
Yeah, it didn't start crazy, but kind of ended that way. So I have a good friend of mine who lives out of town, lives a couple hours away.
You don't get to see very often.
I don't see him very often. Probably been close to a year, I think, since I've seen him.
So it's a special occasion to get to see this person.
Yeah, like last was it 2 years ago? There's one like winter break that he was here like all the time. Like every couple of weeks he was in town, and it was fun. It was a good time. But I met him online. There was a group I was in that was like a bunch of comic book nerds. One of my buddy's friends added me, and it's from all over the country. And I would get on there. I wouldn't post a whole lot, but I post like punk shit. And then he just picked up one day and like started talking about punk and metal and stuff. And then he went to a chip show. Like, didn't know this guy very well. He was like, I'll come to your next show. And came in, saw the show, like fell in love with the town kind of. And like he's now like all of my friends are like his friends. And he comes into town and he has a great time. And he came in Friday night for, there was a punk show, and our buddy Jason was finally screening his new movie in town, which is a great movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset that I didn't get to make it out for that, because I really wanted to.
It was really good. Like, he put a lot, you could tell that there was a lot of time, a lot of work went into this film, and it pays off. The score, not to get too tangent, but the score was amazing.
Awesome.
It was almost like its own character. Like, it had that, like, 80s synthy kind of stuff. And then also, since it's a punk film-ish, like a punk film. Right. They had a lot of, like, local punk bands that that played in it and had this, no Chips, though. Chips didn't make it into there.
The Chips you don't always have to have Chips.
Exactly. It's nice.
We love the Chips, but you don't always have to have
them. Exactly.
They're a treat.
Sometimes they get stale.
But you eat them anyway.
Duh.
Now you got me thinking about potato chips again. God damn it.
So he comes into town, and he when he came in town, he's like, "Hey, I can't really stay tomorrow, like Saturdays. I can't stay too late because I got stuff to do." And it's like my brother's birthday. I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, man." And so we hung out, had a great time. I stayed out way too late. I don't do that very often anymore because Like we said earlier, we're almost 30. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, fun. And so get that, had a good night. I had to work at People's Brewing Saturday. They had a big fall bash thingamajig. Mm-hmm. And I got done probably about 6 or so. And Tyler called me, which is not you, different Tyler. Mm-hmm. Tyler Summers.
The equally as awesome, but more handsome Tyler.
I don't know if I agree with both.
He's just not as beefy as me.
Yeah, but you're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're so
I'm
beautiful.
big and beautiful.
You are. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm getting lost in your eyes. Ooh, God, don't do that.
You know in like the original Jungle Book when Mowgli meets the snake for the first time and it's got like the swirly eyes going on?
Yeah.
And it's fucking entrancing him? That's what I was just doing.
Dude, well, it worked.
I just about put a spell on
I'm
you.
hard.
Because I'm spooky.
Spooky boy. But anyways, where was I at?
And Tyler,
yes. So Tyler calls me and he's like, hey, our buddy is going to stay a little bit later in town because he just woke up. He also works thirds, so he's like sleeps weird hours. And so he's like, hey, you want to hang out for a little bit before he leaves? I'm like, yeah, cool. Come on over. So I went home and they came over and hung out. And we had a good time. We played some like phone type games, like those like Jackbox games where you put in funny phrases and we're funny dudes. Mm-hmm. So a good time. And my buddy, my out-of-town buddy, is quite a drinker. I'll just go out and say he's an alcoholic. And I didn't know really the extent of it until last night, pretty much. But so they went and got beer, and they got a 30 rack and a 40. He got a 40 to himself. And I think I maybe had 2 because it's late, and I'm an old, tired man. And I think Tyler may have had like 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. He had the entire rest of the pack of the case and the 40, and he's drinking it like water, like just and so it's all right, you know. I mean, drinking whatever. And it's getting late. It's getting like almost 2:00 at this point, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna go to bed here soon. Like,
gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, like I had an early podcast this morning, and I have this podcast today. So
you got stuff to do this evening.
Exactly, I got some stuff I need to do this evening, and so Tyler was like, all right, cool, that's fine. And then our other friend that was there, she's like, that's cool, and he just kind of ignored it pretty much, and he just kept getting drunk and drunker, and about 2:00 runs around, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to get going. And he looks at Tyler. He's like, hey, you want to... He's like, let's go to the bar. Go, like, see what party there is. And Tyler's like, hey, I'm going to go to bed, man. And he stayed at Tyler's house Friday night. He's like, you can come over and crash. And he didn't want to leave his car at my house. And I have a spare room. Like, you can sleep here, man. That's fine. Sydney, which is our friend. I can drop her name. I dropped a name. Oops.
That's okay.
She was sleeping in the other room. Like, you can sleep in this one. It's fine. And... he's like, no, and like it's like, and eventually he's like, I'm just gonna go home, and he lives a couple hours away, and I'm like, dude, you're not gonna go home. Like, it's 2 a.m. You're going through a time change anyways, but like it's 2 hours. Just stay here. It's fine. And he keeps going on. I gotta go. I'll be fine. And I'm starting to get mad at this point because we're all there trying to help him and trying to be there for him and for a friend of ours. And it almost got physical. I'm not a physical guy. I mean, look at me.
I mean, a lot of times, like when you walk into the room, the first thing that pops into my head is, let's get physical. I mean, you are a physical dude.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
You're not like, you're a large man, Dave.
I am a large man.
Beefier than me, just as far as height, and you know we're thick spooky boys.
We are. Episode title. It's gonna be the episode
thick
title.
Spooky boys. I mean, we're big guys. We're not people that you're gonna push around.
Right.
But we don't like go out of our way. Like, it's one of the things that I've always hated about like drinking with people. You've always got that one guy that when you're drinking, he's like, come on, pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always that one fucking guy. And he singles you out because you are either the one that's bigger than him or you're the one that's closest to him in girth as that person. You know?
Right.
And obviously I'm not saying that's what happened here, but like I know for a fact that you and I are the type of people that just blow that off.
Yeah.
Like all right, dude, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna go over here.
There's been several times where I could diffuse the situation.
We
pretty
like
well.
to diffuse the confrontation or avoid it. We don't seek confrontation.
Exactly, yeah.
So for you to say that this guy pushed your buttons enough that shit's about to get physical, that means a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Because you don't do that.
Exactly. And he was just pushing it, and like I was like, "You're not fucking leaving. You can fucking stay here." Like I was getting mad. And then he drops because he's a big guy, he's a large fellow, and he's like, he kind of drops this. I don't think he was trying to be shitty or trying to be a tough guy, but it came off. It just kind of triggered me. He's like, "Well, I'm like the biggest guy here," and I looked at him like, "I don't fucking care. I don't care if you're fucking bigger than me. I have no problem taking you down." Like I was, and I started like stepping up, and I think Tyler kind of was like, "Whoa, hey." And I kind of backed. And he's like, "Okay, I'm not going to drive home." I'm like, "Awesome, man.
Cool. We have come to an accord. Let's just keep hanging out. Let's get some rest.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Exactly.
But it gets spicier.
It gets spicier. And I don't know if I mentioned, but like it was his brother's birthday. We're there, and then that's why he was going to leave early. Mm-hmm. And then he's halfway. He's like, "Oh, I see my brother all the time," and he was kind of mad at him for whatever. And he's like, "I'm just gonna blow him off. It's fine." And like he didn't bother him at all. But as soon as
at least he acted like it didn't bother him.
Yeah. But as soon as we stopped drinking, or as soon as we stopped drinking, we're all going to bed. He starts going that he needs to see his brother. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so this situation diffuses. We're talking to him. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and I live in a basement. And he walks upstairs, and he's gone for a little bit. And Tyler and I are talking, and then Tyler's like, "I think I heard the garage door open." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I get outside and I go out. I walk out there, and he's in his car. And I'm like, "All right, maybe," because he had clothes and stuff. I'm like, maybe he's grabbing his clothes, he's grabbing his whatnot. And then I see it take off, and that fucking set me off.
Yeah.
I sent him a message. I'm like, "We're fucking done, dude." Like I just said, "We're fucking done."
To have someone, and not just one person too, to have a group of people saying, "Hey man, don't drive, just sober up, sleep for a couple hours. I mean, get some rest. You don't need to take the risk. It'll be all right." And then to blatantly just fucking sneak out.
Exactly.
Obviously, you're not this person's master, but if something happens, they left your house. You were hanging out with them. It's your friend. You're partially responsible.
Exactly, I'm partially responsible for it.
So that's super shitty.
And then like I decided not to message him at like that right away because he texted me. He's like, "I'm sorry, it's his birthday." That's what he said. And
so then he tried to guilt you into feeling bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is not cool.
Yeah, and I was about ready to like just read him the act, like the riot act, and Tyler brought up a smart. He's like, "Don't text him right now because he's driving." I'm like, "That's a good point." And so eventually it kind of calmed down. I'm still pissed. Tyler leaves, Sydney goes to bed, and I'm like, "All right, I can go to bed." And I was up for like an hour still because I was just kind of like,
well, I mean, it put you on edge. I'm sure that you were worried.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're pissed on top of that, and all that was justified for sure.
Yeah.
If I did that to you, I would want you to be pissed at me forever, because I obviously have a problem if I'm that person, and I have known a lot of people that have had that same issue, and it really takes, and it's bad, but it really takes someone to just be a fucking dick to them for them to have a reality check. Yeah. Because the coddling, "Hey, it's okay, we'll work through this, we'll get you some help, you're a good person." Sometimes you got to be a dick to them.
Exactly.
Because they just want the attention.
Yeah. And I kind of
They don't have the problem because they want the attention. But when people are trying to help them, they fucking bask in the attention.
Exactly.
Like, "Yep, I do have a problem.
You're right.
You're right. We're gonna get better." And that's an endorphin trip for people. I'm gonna do better, and then it's right back down the hole they go.
Yes.
Sometimes you just got to be a dick. I've got a friend right now that I'm dealing with the same shit that unfortunately I've pretty much just cut off.
Which is sad. It's
sad
because
you shouldn't have to.
Right.
So it's tough.
Yeah, and it's just I messaged him this morning. Mm-hmm. I woke up, I was still pissed. Woke up way too early. I had like 3 hours of sleep, but whatever. But I messaged him saying like you know, like it's basically like, so apparently like what you're saying to me is, what my point of view is, that our friendship is less important than you drinking. Because like that's all that man does is drink. Like he gets off of work and goes to a bar a couple blocks and closes that bar down. He says that all the time.
And then
like,
you said
every
he
day.
also gets up on his days off and opens the bar and then closes it.
Yes.
Every day that he has
Every
off.
day.
That is a problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Think about the amount of money that man spends in that bar. Think about what it's doing to his health.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's there is obviously a problem. This man needs some help.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to tell this man, if he listens to this, how to live his life, but you have friends that give a shit about you.
Exactly.
And there's enough people that are saying, hey, man, you might want to seek some help.
Yeah.
You know, or at least try and get yourself on the wagon, that it's just not bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Because you and I talked at the beginning of this, right before we recorded, that you and I will throw down with the best of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and not judge people for it, not take it too far, well, I'm only going to have 2 beers. You know,
right.
We're not those kind of people. I mean, we're just down-home spooky boys.
Damn right we are.
I mean, we're thick and spooky and delicious, like turkey.
Get used to it.
Get used to it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, what we were talking about pre-show was, like, I turned 28 this month. You'll be 30 next year.
Yeah, May, I'll be 30.
Our overall group of friends, and it's one of the things that I find fascinating about, like, you and I's friendship, Nick and I's friendship. Like,
yeah.
we all have these little subgroups that we have all been friends with for a long time. And then as a community, all of these groups have just taken to each other.
Yeah, kind of like molded in a little bit.
And now it's just one big thing.
Which is awesome.
And it's not really centered around anything other than we all just like to be around each other.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's some people in the group, and I'm not calling anybody out. Don't misunderstand me here. I'm not attacking anybody.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're not.
I'm not saying any names at all. But there's some people that we all like to party and have a good time, but that's all they want to do.
Yeah, it kind of becomes their personality.
It's Friday night, we got to party. Hey, man, it's Saturday night, we got to party. It's Sunday, we got to drink all day.
Yeah.
Call me lame or old-fashioned, or maybe call me responsible. I can't afford to just drink my life away. I got other shit to do. Let's fucking play board games.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go see a movie. You know, when you and Buckles and AJ and I went and saw Far From Home.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was fantastic.
Why would I want to go to the bar and fucking spend, let's say, $50 on booze? We fucking experienced that together, and it was great.
Yeah.
You know,
I totally agree. I've
not
been trying
everything
to do more
has
stuff
to be
like that.
not everything has to be nerdy, but like, let's go to fucking Turkey Run for a day and not drink.
Yeah.
Let's float, but not drink.
Right.
You know, and again, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm not saying anybody needs to change. We're just using this story as an example that's relative to our real life.
And I've been feeling that exact same thing for like months now. Mm-hmm. Like, because I still want to hang out with my friends on the weekends.
Right.
I'm kind of getting over the bar scene. There's sometimes, like, I love shows. If there's a show at a bar,
Right.
I'll go to it. That's totally fine. That's what I like to do.
Especially if it's the North End pub.
Yes.
You got good beer. You got good grub at the pub.
Damn right you
You
do.
can fucking go bowl if you want to.
Yeah, play pinball.
Play pinball.
Play on the arcade thing they got.
Arcade thing.
Yeah.
Go across to Arnie's and get a good salad. And
Get that
then
good,
maybe some
good salad.
hepatitis A.
Yeah,
Because
that's
they
true.
had that not long
Because
ago,
they had
and
that.
that's scary. Yeah, it's just our life isn't about drinking anymore.
Exactly.
And that's not a bad thing.
Right, right. No, it's still like in there. Like it's still somewhat a small part maybe, but it's not like our personality, our whole thing.
Yep.
And it just gets more and more. It's been frustrating me like that. And then just the kind of like, you know, completely ignoring your friends to go drive 2 hours. He said he didn't drink, but
Because they wouldn't party with you more. And then that was his expression of, well, fuck it, I'm going to throw a tantrum. I'm going to go home anyway. You know, that's just not cool.
Yeah. And like, I don't hate the guy. I'm not very happy with him. I might need a break. But...
Is it perhaps the famous dad phrase, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed?
I hate that phrase.
Man, I hate it too.
Kinda.
There is a lot of situations where it
cuts,
pertinent though.
Cuts real deep. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
I mean, because like you're exactly the same as me in a lot of ways. You just want people to be happy.
Exactly.
And successful.
This world kind of sucks.
It incredibly sucks.
Yeah. It sucks a lot.
It sucks real heavy dick.
Yeah.
Like
that heavy,
dick,
long
it's just
dick.
heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy dick.
Heavy dick. We just want everybody to be happy and successful and enjoy life, man.
Yeah.
And life's about more than throwing fucking booze-fueled tantrums because you couldn't run up to the fucking liquor store and get a couple more King Cobras.
Yeah.
You know?
Ugh, King Cobra.
I knew that would trip you.
It did. Ooh, it did.
But it's just, I don't know. It's sad. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
Yeah, it's just, it was bothering me all day. So I'm glad that we could kind of vent this out.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, like I've been there. You've been there.
Oh, absolutely.
Drank a lot. Like I've cut way down, but I would never consider myself an alcoholic. I joke about it.
Well, I think what sets, and again, we're not tooting our own horns here, but I think what kind of separates us from the alcoholic conversation is we are cognitive enough about it to say we got to tone this back.
Exactly. Yeah. Like this is getting much.
And then actually follow through with it.
Right.
You know, I might have, I think at this point now, I might have one beer a month.
Wow. I'm not quite there yet.
Well,
but
it's just because I've been working so much with school and stuff, you know. If I was, you know, I've been working Friday nights. I've been working early Saturday mornings.
Oof.
So any of the Doom Room shows I haven't been able to go to, stuff like that. I mean, I think really the last time that I tied one on was the 4th of July party at Nick's.
Oh, well, yeah.
And I had to leave early, you know, on top of that because I had to work the next morning.
Right. That was a fun time, though.
It was. We had a good time.
Yeah.
Lots of festivities.
I love festivities.
But I take a lot of pride in the fact that I've been able to dial it back the way that I have. Because, I mean, there was a time when I worked that job, had the rotating shift.
Yeah.
I would kill a 30-pack, if not most of a 30-pack, each of my days off.
Which, that's a lot. That's a lot of beer.
I would drink from 6 o'clock in the morning until, you know, 6 o'clock in the evening. So obviously 30 beers over that time frame. You're spreading it out.
But still, that's still a lot of beer.
I mean,
that's a ton of liquid in your body.
That's a lot of beer. That's a lot of Jägermeister on top of that too. Because Jaeger's my favorite liquor.
I have to be in like the mood for Jaeger.
Do you want to know a quick fun fact about Jaeger? I'm sure I've told you this before, but
I don't know, maybe.
Jaeger is not supposed to be consumed as an alcoholic beverage.
Really?
Nope. It is a digestive aid.
Okay, yes.
So you're supposed to eat and then have a shot of Jaeger. You can sip it or take it as a shot after you eat to settle and relax your stomach.
There's another alcohol that the Spot carries that my buddy Jim loves called Fernet. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. It's like an herbal. It's got booze in it, but it's like an herbal, like digestive. Mm-hmm. And every time I'm there, he's like, "Let's get a shot, Dave." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take a shot." And it's always Fernet, and it's gross, but it does make my tummy feel
I like
better.
it. I like that black licorice, herby.
I don't have a problem with black licorice.
Like you know, the star anise and all the exotic things that are in Jägermeister, man. I love it. Like whenever my dad's in town, my parents stress me out like a lot. But whenever my dad is in town here or I am visiting him and we go out, whether it's to a restaurant or a bar, we start our night with a shot of Jägermeister.
Right.
And I like it so much just because I like it, but that feeling of what it does to my stomach, it's almost relaxing to the point where, okay, I don't have to pace myself. I mean, obviously I have to pace myself because I'm a responsible human being.
Right, exactly.
But like, I don't have to worry about eating. And then, you know how sometimes like you'll go out, you'll get bar food, you'll fucking have 4 or 5 beers, and maybe a couple shots, and it's like, well, I've got the shits already.
Yep.
You know, we always start with the Jaeger, and it's like, okay, I don't have to worry about it
Kind
as
of
much.
calms things down.
Yeah, I can get that fucking greasy bar pretzel with all the cheese.
Oh.
You know, like I don't know. It's kind of like a ritual for my dad and I. My dad has one of the big Jägermeister like frat paddles that's got all the slots for the shots in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like 3.5, 4 feet long.
Damn.
And so it like the shot, the slots in the board for each of the shots has a shot glass assigned to it. So all the way at the end is a big fucker. It's almost a full glass of Jägermeister.
Oh, wow.
And then each hole gets smaller all the way down to basically the tip of the hand, or not the tip of the handle, but the top of the handle.
Top of the handle, okay.
And it's just like a regular or a mini shot. And I mean, when my dad lived in Houston, there was a couple times that I was down there that we killed that entire board a couple times.
Wow.
My dad and I really like Jägermeister.
Apparently.
Okay. So, but yeah, I mean, that sucks that you had to deal with it. Glad you got to vent about it.
I appreciate it. This. I feel a lot better about it. Like, I'm still kind of pissed at the
I mean, you
dude,
should be
but-
pissed, I feel like. And it's a tough place to be, because should you be mad at the person? Yes. Should you be mad at someone who has a problem? No.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Should you be mad at someone who has a problem, acknowledges that they have a problem, but doesn't do anything to fix it? Abso-fucking-lutely.
That's exactly what.
So
Not to call him out, but that's exactly what it is. 'Cause-
it's a tough place to be.
yeah. He's even mentioned last night that he's been to rehab twice.
Really?
Yeah. He was in the military, and they had like rehab in there at one point. And that kind of went, didn't sit well with me when he said that. Kind of like joking.
Almost like he was bragging about it.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was like he was
Or
talking.
maybe he was just seeking attention.
Yeah, kind of more of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to call the dude out too much. Like, I am pissed at him, but like, end of the day, I'm still friends with him.
Right. You just want this guy, like we said earlier, you want him to be successful and healthy and happy.
Yeah.
That's what Dave and I want for everybody.
Damn right. I don't know why I looked. There's an audience.
Except like people murdering Kurds
yes.
or like Nazis.
Yeah. People can murder Nazis. Wait, no. Wait. Yes? No?
Well, and you might feel differently than I do, but like, I would just like the Nazis to realize the error of their ways and to just not be Nazis anymore.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
You know, would I like to eradicate Nazis? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If they're given an option of like actually being reformed and not being Nazis anymore, should we murder them?
No.
Probably. I mean,
not.
maybe some of them. Maybe
depends.
the real fucked up ones.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know.
I saw a video a long time ago. It was a tattoo artist that was like a former like white supremacist that like reformed.
Yeah.
And he would do this, like he would do free cover-ups for other reformed, and they would cover up the swastikas
Yeah,
and
I
all
saw
their
that.
hate
That was great.
tattoos. Yeah.
We need more of that.
Exactly. I agree.
You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier about how like awful the world is. You know, that
It is.
like that is I mean, if you break down every society and every culture, and it's all fucked up everywhere. You know, people in our government are fucking kids, and people in the Middle East are fucking and murdering kids.
Yep.
And it's just like in Africa and Asia, thousands and thousands of kids are starving to death every second.
Yeah, right now.
Right now,
Let's just speak.
a kid is dying every syllable of every word that I say. And it's like, it is just fucked up. So like the smallest glimmer of hope that a person who is a white supremacist can change and reform and do it not for attention, but because they realize the error of their ways, and then they are like a beacon for other people to do that too.
Striving to do better.
Because you're never going to reach perfection
No.
in anything.
No.
Not musically, not artistically, not professionally. You're never going to attain perfection.
Exactly.
Because no one is perfect.
That's
Except
exactly
Odin.
right.
Odin was perfect.
Odin. It's true.
Thor was pretty cool, too.
Thor's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, not perfect.
Definitely not perfect.
But, like, that is such a small glimmer of hope, and we need more of that as a people.
Yes.
Not necessarily, like, obviously we need more of it, but we need to see it. You know, because when you turn on any social media, mainstream media, like anything, it's just negative, 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 negative.
Yep.
Fireman saves cat from the tree. There's your little glimmer of positive, instantly flooded and overshadowed by all the negative.
Exactly.
And it just fucking sucks, man.
It really does. And like I kind of been realizing this a little bit. I don't want to get political, because I'm not really political. But like there's always that, conservative, Democrat, Republican. I hate that.
Yes.
I hate that there's political parties.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes me an anarchist. I don't know, but I don't believe in political parties. To me, it's like a divide and conquer is what they're doing.
Yes.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like I've always kind of knew that, but it's been last couple of weeks or so, it's been hitting me more and more. Like it's just divide and conquer.
So I wanted to be a politician for a long time. I structured and like schemed and like a politician does to set myself in place that when I graduated from college, I was on the track to be a fucking politician. And I realized that was, number one, not feasible because of life and because I didn't want to be a grimy piece of shit.
Yep.
But like where I'm at right now in my life, I've come to realize that if you strongly align with either party, let's just say the main two, Democrat or Republican, that's okay. The problem is when you vote Republican just because you're Republican.
Exactly.
Or you vote Democrat just because you're Democrat. Every issue should be a bipartisan issue. Every single issue, from the most mundane and minuscule thing all the way up to, issues of state and, fucking war and, the top tier shit.
Right.
It should all be approached from, here's our parameters, here are the facts, here are the possible outcomes of this. Everything should be looked at through the lens of not just what is going to benefit our people, but what is going to benefit and not, what's the opposite of benefit? Hinder or hurt any of the other people involved.
Right.
We can't take a neutral stance on everything because that's not feasible. Just like obtaining perfection. But I feel like, if we lived in this fantasy world where money was not a part of politics, that would be a big step in the direction of obtaining that. The government forgets and has forgotten the entire concept of they work for us, we don't work for them. We can exist without them. Yeah. Would life be more difficult? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it would. I agree with that.
But it would still continue.
Yeah.
Can they exist without us? No.
No. Boom.
I mean, that's as philosophical of a way as I can put it, because
it was well done.
Thank you. There are people that have given me some feedback on the show prior to my exit, and some of the things that I've heard. Well, you just ran about the same thing over and over again. Okay, it's because it hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed. Yeah.
We are on the precipice of either complete and total like nirvana or fucking doom right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it is up to our generation to take control of what our parents and their parents' generations fucking did to us. Am I saying that everyone owes our generation, the millennials, everything? No. But children should not be starving to death.
Exactly.
Children should not be starving to death, and politicians should not be fucking children. And it be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I'm at.
Same. I'm glad we feel the same way.
So, not to let politics hijack the show at all.
Because I'm really not a political person at all. Like I know some of the goings on, but
It's tough because you can educate yourself and educate yourself and educate yourself, and it's an ever-changing organism. It's almost like a virus, and I made it a negative connotation for a reason because government is a bad thing.
yeah.
More government is bad, less government is bad. The more government you have, the more the government has control of your life.
Yep.
The less government you have, the more control the businesses and corporations have of your life.
Which is a whole nother beast.
And in reality, it's one amalgamation of just shit.
Yep.
And we are not powerless to stop it, but we are between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
Because some shit's got to go down to make a change. And it's up to our generation to do it.
Exactly.
And that's where I'll leave the politics discussion for today.
I got one more discussion.
Hit me.
One more for the politics.
Hit me.
Do you know what I call the White House with all the nowadays with all the goings on, political and otherwise?
What?
The loony bin.
My man.
Tyler
That's
said
big
that
move.
joke like 30 times yesterday, and he just said with all the going ons, politicals and otherwise. So I had to sneak that in there. Like seriously, it was like 30 times.
But it didn't get old.
I mean, it did after a while.
Maybe
but
the 28th time.
yeah.
Like, hey, man.
All right.
I get the
I
goings
get
on.
it. The goings on, political and otherwise.
Man,
But I had to slide that one in there. Slide in your DMs.
I appreciate anytime you slide in my DMs. I'm really glad that we could get this done today.
Yeah, I am too.
Because we tried to do it last weekend, and then, we both had commitments that kind of took
precedence.
Took precedence. Thank you. I got a couple other things that we can riff on before we take off, but I feel like we've hit some pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, I didn't mean to get all heavy with you. I'm
No,
not
that's
normally
okay.
a heavy guy, but it was weighing on me, and it was a good debate.
Like we always say on the show, it's freeform for a reason.
Like jazz.
Like jazz, because one day we're going to hit the saxophone real hard, and then the following Wednesday or the following Sunday, if you and I record next Sunday, we might hit the fucking trumpet real hard.
Yeah.
We might even bring some French horn in. It might be a little jazz ska fusion.
Ska thing. Get the upright bass in the mix.
Just gotta slap it too.
Slap that bass.
Yeah, slap it to bass.
Slap it to bass, man.
But what else is good in Dave's world? Do you
good?
Have you played any good board games lately?
I honestly, this is kind of bumming me out. I haven't really played a ton of board games in a while.
You and Buckles and a couple other people and I have been trying to get a board game night in the works. I feel like for 3 or 4 months.
Yep, that's what it feels like.
Pretty much the entirety of the late spring and early summer. And, Buckles has been working a lot. I've been working a lot. School's back in session. There's just not enough hours in the day.
Exactly. I've been working a full-time job and 2 part-times. So
Busy boy.
busy boys. We're all busy boys.
And
But we need to do that because I miss doing it. I did last weekend. I was able to play some board games with some friends, but it was all like party games. That was still fun. Nothing like big, dense board game or anything. But we played some 5-minute dungeon. If you played that, it's a lot of fun.
I not yesterday, obviously, because it was Saturday, but Friday at work, the guy that I was working with and I were talking about board games and some of the stuff that we like to play. And one of the podcasts I listen to is called Androids and Aliens. It's a live play of Starfinder.
Oh, nice.
The tabletop RPG. It's from the same people that do the Glass Cannon podcast, which is a Pathfinder podcast.
Okay.
But they're all like actors and comedians and playwrights.
Which is cool.
Not like big name movie actors, but the comedy is fucking hilarious. And I played that week's episode while him and I were fabbing some stuff up, and he fucking loved it.
Really?
And he said, I don't really think that I would want to play that style of game where I roll dice and stuff, but this group of guys, it's 5 guys and a girl from Sweden.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
there's a little bit of a culture barrier, and the comedy is just fucking hilarious. But he enjoyed that episode enough that he wants to listen to the show.
That's awesome. See, that's...
Which originally I listened to the show, and that's what made me want to play that game.
Right.
So I'm hoping that's eventually what happens for him.
Happened the same with me. There's a podcast we both are big fans, Adventure Zone.
I was going to go there next. Did you see the trailer for season 3?
On the way here, I watched it. I mean, I didn't watch it because
I'm so excited. They're going back to D&D.
I am too.
I'm really excited for Travis to sit behind the DM's chair.
Travis was one of my favorites in there. Justin's like by far.
Justin is my favorite.
Yeah, Justin is the best.
Have you finished Amnesty yet?
Yes.
Was that not fucking incredible?
Really good. It was really good.
It wasn't as good as Balance, but it was equally as good in every other way.
Exactly. Yeah, and because of that, because of Amnesty, I'm playing Monster of the Week on Dungeon with Dudes.
Yeah, you need to invite me on for that because
Yes.
I really want to play Monster of the Week real bad.
I want to play it also. But yeah, maybe we'll do some like cool one shot thing. Like do a one shot because the characters they have going on in this, like what I have going, is ridiculous. It's hilarious.
I am still slowly working through the backlog of Dungeons with Dudes.
There's a lot, and some of them are rough to get to.
Well,
Some are rough.
I waited. You know, I've explained this to you and Nick and Buckles a couple times. I like the little bit that I had listened to in the beginning of you guys playing The Curse of Strahd. I loved it.
Oh, nice.
Thank
you. Appreciate
in good
that.
conscience, I've been spoiled with Critical Role and The Adventure Zone and Androids and Aliens, where I had such an immense backlog that I would never get caught up. Well, I mean, I would get caught up, but like while I'm at work, I could listen to podcasts all day long.
Right. Yeah.
So I gave Dungeons with Dudes basically a year head start on me, and now
you're gonna get into it.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So I've been
appreciate it, man.
I've been
Appreciate
listening as much as I can at work because I've been real busy and haven't got a lot of podcast time lately. But yeah, I'm cruising through your guys' stuff.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Obviously, it's great stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
When you guys get done with Dungeons and Dragons, I'd really like that to be a part of.
Yes, well, definitely. I would definitely.
Dungeons with Dudes because that would be fun to play.
Oh yeah, especially like Nick's a big sci-fi guy.
That's what I'm
anyways,
saying.
He would love it.
Even if every cast member stays the same, like I know all of those guys enough that they would fucking love that.
Oh yeah, Alex Watts. That like I think he's even talked about it at work. Like he wants to play that.
And we're talking about Starfinder for anyone intrigued at this point about the game that I thought that I referenced, but I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually.
I don't remember if I said it or not, but it's Starfinder, space fantasy mashup in space.
Yeah, it's like D&D, but laser guns.
Yeah, it's fucking cool, man. And the rules are great. It's intuitive and not overly complex like Pathfinder can be.
Pathfinder can be very complex.
Second edition, so what's going on in my world, obviously besides work and school, in our interim of Dungeons and Dragons that we were playing in, I've been playing in a group.
Oh, nice.
We're doing Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Oh, I'm in a group doing Ghost of Saltmarsh too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Well, my buddy's running that. That's awesome.
It is super, super fun.
It is.
I'm really liking it.
Nice.
And then I also got invited to play in a second edition Pathfinder group, which I've never played second edition Pathfinder, but I'm going to go give it a try.
Nice. I've not played second edition either.
It's a lot more simplified and streamlined, and it makes me excited to try it.
Cool.
I'm not super excited to play it because I like 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons so much.
I do too. I do
It's just fun to play.
Yeah.
You know, it makes RP worthwhile, and it makes when you earn something as a group, it just feels good.
Yeah.
You know, we I don't know how much you've played with Ghost of Saltmarsh yet, but we got a ship last night.
That's awesome.
Like a full-blown ship.
Because we just got a ship 2 sessions ago.
Fuck yeah. So our group is, you know, like my best friend and I, before we ever play D&D, or any RPG like that, we always sit down and we build our characters together. We hash out whether our characters know each other, whether we don't, because you never know who else in the group you're going to play with. You never know who you're really going to vibe with. And what I've enjoyed so much about this is, Salt Marsh is in Eberron, so you don't have to worry about any of the Faerunian stuff that a lot of the times is just irrelevant anyway.
Yeah.
It's not Eberron, it's Greyhawk.
Yeah.
But Greyhawk's more like Game of Thrones and less like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's just visceral and, more gritty.
Very.
And like we got on the ship last night and just fucking murdered them.
Nice.
We tricked them into thinking that we were the crew that was supposed to receive the goods, and the guy that's like the face of our group was chatting up, and I just casually like leaned against the railing behind the guy he was talking to and then fucking stabbed him.
Nice.
And then it all kicked off from that. It was just, we had a really good session last night. Our group has quickly found like everybody's roles, and it's just
when a group clicks, man. That's
the word I was getting to. It just feels fucking good.
Yeah. That's hilarious because we, like I said a couple sessions ago, we also found a boat. He's running a little bit different because we basically played a. We've been doing this for about a year and a half, and we played a like intro game. It's like the Eye of something. Not Trogdor. Eye of something, and it was like a 3.5 thing that he updated for this.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of bled into Ghost of Saltmarsh. Mm-hmm. So we're a little bit different, but ours was similar, except they came to us. Mm. We were out. We walked out of the bar, and there was lizard men that attacked us, and a whole bunch of drow, and like most of us almost died.
Spooky stuff.
Yeah, it was spooky. It was rough. My little halfling dude. Barely made it.
What are you playing?
I play a halfling bard.
I'm playing a human rogue.
Nice.
Rogue's my favorite class.
Rogues are great.
So it's just nice. We just got to level 3 last night.
Nice. We hit 5th.
Nice. So yeah, I'm really hoping that as we continue to play this group, and I'm hoping we get ours up and running too.
Yeah, I hope so too. I know we have
some time. But I really would like to. I'm enjoying Saltmarsh so much, and I know, obviously I haven't read ahead or anything, but like I know it is a very small module.
Yeah, it's not very...
It's a basic campaign setting, and then here's a bunch of one-shots for you to go do. And I would really like to just take like Tales from the Yawning Portal, and then maybe like Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and then just change the name of Waterdeep and say, well, this is this city in Greyhawk, and here's the Tales from the Yawning Portal stuff too, and then,
set in that,
and then just keep it going because the setting's irrelevant.
Exactly, yeah.
It's fucking fun. I hope we get ours up and going.
I do too. I had a blast. Our characters are great. Mm-hmm. The interaction we have is fantastic.
And even if we made new characters, if we went in an entirely different direction, I really like. I feel like AJ is getting better as a DM.
Yeah.
He's realized some of the stuff that he's made mistakes on, and he's being a little bit more prepared now. And you and Buckles and I, it's magic when the three of us are sitting around the table.
It's something, man. It's great.
Giant statue dicks and everything else. But so I've got the Starfinder core rulebook, and I just ordered actually the beginner box, which is another core rulebook, the beginning of an adventure path, and then like 80 pawns. So you've got the minis with it too.
Oh, cool.
So if and when Dungeons with Dudes is ready, I got all your stuff, fam.
That's fantastic. I know
Papa Bear will supply you with whatever you need.
Oh, we're always looking because I know here fairly soon, Chris Stroud's gonna be wrapping up. Mm-hmm. Nick expressed interest of trying to DM, which is I'm super excited for because I love DMing, but I also kind of want to play on the show. I want to be able to role play on the show.
I like to DM too. I mean, right behind that little spinny thing is Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. And if you've got, like, some people may not mind it, but I want to lean on the pre-written adventure as much as I can.
Yeah, I'm
and
the
then,
same way.
And then the spots where I want to adjust and add things and do downtime. And in today's session, it's going to be intrigue and we're going to do shopping and all that mundane stuff that people don't normally like to do. That's the stuff that I really like to hype up and make my own. And
you gotta have a good balance between combat and role
it can't
play.
all be combat because it's just boring.
Exactly.
I stab him again.
Yeah. Combat's fun.
I rolled a 15. Okay.
+2.
Yeah. That gets old after a while. But when the story and the combat and all the downtime activities and your characters, whether you have a backstory or not, the character that I'm playing in Saltmarsh, I basically made sorry, Dave.
Oh, no problem.
I made a combination of Indiana Jones and Han Solo.
Nice.
So his name is Bard Uno instead of Han Solo.
Bard Uno. Wow.
I know it's really dumb. It's really dumb.
I like it though.
But it's like one of the things that the Glass Cannon Network does on their podcast that I really enjoy is anytime they have a player character or a named NPC, they cast that character as an actor or actress.
Oh, okay.
So when my buddy Andy and I sat down to get our characters, our frame of mind right and build our characters, before I did anything, I knew I wanted to play Rogue because that's my favorite. That's my favorite in the game besides Bard. I feel like Rogue and Bard are the two best classes in the game.
My first experience with the Bard was actually this halfling that I'm playing, and then in our game we play a Bard. I enjoy it. I love it.
It's just fun because you don't like some of the classes are so specialized, and we're talking about 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons here. Some of the classes are so specialized and geared towards one small set of things that like you become a one-trick pony.
Exactly. Yeah.
And with the Rogue and the Bard, you are a one-trick pony with a small handful of things, but you are okay at everything else.
Exactly.
So it just makes it more fun to play. It gives you more options. So yeah, hands down, those are my two favorite classes to play. But when we were sitting down to get those characters dreamed up, I knew I wanted to play a Rogue, and I knew I wanted him to be like Han Solo and Indiana Jones.
That's awesome.
So like last night, I didn't con everybody into doing it, but like I explained like how they cast their characters, and it makes RP a little bit easier because we've all seen a dozen movies with Harrison Ford in it.
Exactly.
My guy is young Harrison Ford.
Right.
Minus
the carpentry.
Well, maybe.
You don't know.
I don't know what background I took.
That's true.
I took Smuggler, obviously, because it was the right one to do for Han Solo. But
yeah,
it makes RP, like, especially if you do a lot of theater of the mind stuff, which I like to do. Not everything has to be minis and battle mats. And,
yeah.
But, like, if you say I'm playing a half-orc barbarian and I cast him as Ron Perlman, like, in my mind, when we're conversing, when I'm hearing your voice, I'm hearing Ron Perlman's voice.
Right.
And it's not like, I know a lot of people, and myself included, I'm really self-conscious about like trying to do voices and accents.
It's hard.
It's hard to do, man. There's a reason I am not a voice actor.
Yep.
Because I can't do it.
Same.
You know? I've got Canadian, Minnesotan, and fat, spicy, spooky boy. I mean, that's my list of what I can do there.
I have red-blooded American. That's the one I've got the most.
Prime rib American. But it just it helps the immersion, and it makes RP more fun.
Yeah.
And everyone last night took to it. My buddy Andy cast his guys Gary Busey, which is
nice.
It makes 100% sense. It's fucking hilarious, and it just feels good.
I played a wild magic sorcerer that was kind of a Gary Busey-esque.
Wild magic sorcerers are just cool anyway.
Yep, yeah, they are.
What happened? Everyone turned into elephants.
Why? I don't know.
It just happened.
It just happened. That's how it worked.
Sorry.
I'm playing another D&D game. We're doing every once a month or so. Mm-hmm. But it's Brian Steele, which you know Brian Steele. Mm-hmm. His son, who is 10, Connor, expressed interest in playing D&D. And
so who's running it?
Brian.
Cool.
Brian's running D&D, and it was cool. It's like Connor came to him and it's like, I want to play D&D. I want to learn how to play. Because his dad is a giant nerd. He plays Played forever. And
his dad is one of my favorite nerds ever.
He's one of the best nerds. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best nerds.
He's a good nerd.
He is. He's a good nerd. You're a good nerd. Mm-hmm. And he asked Connor, he's like, who do you want to play? He's like, well, his stepsister and his mom. She's played a little bit too. And she's like, well, he goes, well, Uncle David plays with you guys, right? And Brian's like, yeah, not as much as I'd like because we're both busy.
Right.
We're spooky thick boys, Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, maybe Uncle David wants to play. And he immediately messaged me. He's like, Connor wants to play D&D with you. I'm like, sign me in.
I'm in.
And 2 weeks ago, we had our first game. And he's playing a fighter, which is standard. That's fine. He's playing
it's one of the most fun classes in
exactly.
the game. Because that's one of the ones that's simple, and it's geared towards one thing, but you still have the freedom to do whatever you want. And you're not, I swing my sword. Like, you can be... Fighter's one of the ones that's no holds barred. Yeah. It's not shackled. Be whatever you want.
Yeah, he's playing archery fighter, which is super cool. He's like, I want to shoot a bow. I'm like, awesome. And
it's fighter's better than ranger too. So
yeah,
he made the right choice.
Exactly. And then his stepsister, who I think she's 11, right around there, 10, 11, she's playing a tiefling rogue.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, cool.
It's near and dear to my heart.
Right there. And I think his wife is playing a dragonborn barbarian, I believe.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm playing a turtle, which is a turtle person.
Yeah, hide in your shell and get that 30 AC.
I'm playing a turtle paladin.
Are you doing Oath of Ancients? Because it makes the most sense to do Oath of Ancients. You're a big spooky turtle boy.
I was thinking about that. I was just thinking about devotion. Because the way he's set up, I picked Torm, which is kind of like Crom a little.
Right.
And so...
God, you and I, one of these days here coming up, everyone write this down in your little notebook.
Do it.
Dave and I are going to have a Conan the Barbarian day.
Oh my God, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, please, can we?
We need it.
Oh, yeah,
Because you and I have been talking about having that day for a year. You just reminded me again.
Yep. Crom, strong in his mountain.
Law of Steel.
Like a riddle of steel, man. Mm-hmm. I'm so in. Let's do that. And so, like, my turtle paladin is kind of like, he's like worships the god of basically Crom. Mm-hmm. And it's a blast. Like, in our very first combat we did, because we had some good role playing and stuff. And first one against goblins. You can't get more D&D than first session goblins.
Get them gerblins.
And we went to this, we were tracking these goblins down. We found them there in a camp. Mm-hmm. And everyone's being sneaky except for me because I'm a giant turtle. And the
nice thing is, though, you don't have to wear armor at all.
Yeah.
So you don't get disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah. But I just am not stealthy.
You're just not great at it.
Yeah. And his name is Nordle.
Nordle.
I literally
Nordle the turtle.
In the description, one of the sample name was Nordle. I'm like, I'm gonna be Nordle. And Nordle's like flaw, because they all have they all have flaws. His flaw is he basically worships a hero of like a hero or a god. So I made Yusef Strongshell. And so I just tell everyone about the greatest hero that ever lived, Yusef Strongshell. And we're
that is awesome.
The first game, there was some farmhand we were at. I literally the entire trip I was telling him about Yusef Strongshell.
Hey, have you heard about our Lord and Savior?
Yusef Strongshell.
Yusef Strongshell. You have to give that really dramatic pause. Like Yusef Strongshell. Well, no, that's great. And
then our very first combat, the very first roll that Connor has ever rolled in D&D, natural 20.
Nice.
And he killed the chief goblin. He chose not to kill him. He hit him in a spot.
He did a little non-lethal damage.
Yeah. And first shot knocked out the goblin.
God, that is so awesome.
Yeah, and apparently Brian messaged me when next we're playing, and he's like, Connor's still talking about it. And that just makes me feel good, because my first D&D experience was with my dad. So it's just cool that he's running a game for his son, and I got a little weepy. And I was like, oh my God. I did that one.
See, and that's, I've thought about that a lot here lately. I bought the D&D Essentials kit here recently because I was going to get prepped to I had told you and Buckles and a couple other people that I was going to get prepped and to do my own, because I've kind of got the itch to DM again. And like when I play here, a lot of times it's in the evenings when Ruby's in bed, or like today, we're doing this podcast. Skylar and Ruby had some stuff to go do. So Dad got a little bit of quiet time.
Quiet-ish time.
When I'm playing all these games, that like for me, when I was a teenager, I was adamant I will not fucking play that. That is dumb. Now I'll paint tiny plastic figurines and play Warhammer 40K, but I am not playing Dungeons and Dragons.
That's dumb.
Because I'm not a virgin. But it has been one of the most profound and relaxing. It is my stress release.
Yeah,
now,
and that makes perfect sense.
It has helped get my anxiety under control. It has helped get my depression under control. It has helped meet new groups of people. It has helped you and I reconnect. Buckles and I are great friends now.
Yeah.
When, in the beginning, I didn't know that guy from Adam, and I probably wouldn't have approached him like to try and be, good buds with.
Yeah.
AJ and I are closer now. It's just, it has brought so many good friends of mine together and made them more than friends. And there's a lot of YouTubers that I watch on Dungeons and Dragons because I'm that fucking hardcore about it. But
nothing wrong with that.
There's a lot of them that talk about like the community aspect and the camaraderie, and how there's going to be times in your game, whether you're running it or you're playing it, and something incredible or wacky or heart-wrenching happens, and you are, whether it's that continuing game or in a different game years down the line, you're going to say, hey, remember that time your character's name was Gorthag Kitschaf? Remember that time that we were on the bridge over the chasm, the rope bridge, and you cut it, and you and I held on, and all the goblins and orcs and shit all fell into the chasm and died, and then we climbed up it and we survived and escaped? Like, it's not, hey, do you remember that time that our characters did that shit?
Yeah, remember we did this?
We did it.
Yeah, you have those fond memories.
And it gives me goosebumps when I talk about it, because it is just, and I get it because people are uneducated and they don't really know what it's about. And like, you've got, like, there is a fucking underground Dungeons and Dragons ring in Hollywood right now that Joe Manganiello is putting on.
He's starting, yeah.
It's just like, you get somebody like Joe specifically, he's been on the cover of men's fitness, health and fitness, all these, like, he is not what you would imagine as a Dungeons and Dragons player. The Big Show is playing Dungeons and Dragons now.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, they did a couple games, and I think he's starting a campaign called Jox Machina, where it's Joe Manganiello, Travis Willingham, The Big Show, some fucking CrossFit world champion. Like, they are all tanks. Their whole party is nothing but tanks.
And then they're playing D&D. That's so
they're
awesome.
Playing D&D, and it's just awesome. It oversteps any boundary that you can ever have, and the community, the camaraderie, the friendship, it's all great. Dave and I strongly urge anyone who has any reservations about playing Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop role-playing game for that matter, just try it out.
Just do it. Just play it.
And if you can't find somebody, look on the internet, because there's ways to get around that. Someone's always playing these games.
Exactly.
And they're fucking great.
They're so much fun. I have fond memories from years and years and years ago of D&D. Mm-hmm. Like campaigns where we fought dragons, and it's engraved in there, like you said earlier.
You'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Got anything else, Dave?
I don't think so.
That's a really high note to end on.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, me too. We got kind of deep there for a while and kind of political, and now we got a high note. We got to end on a high note.
Well, Brian, if you listen to this, thank you for playing Dungeons and Dragons with your kids.
Kids, yeah.
And and their Uncle Dave, because that's fucking great.
It's
I
so much
can't
fun.
wait to do that with Ruby, because I know for a fact she's got an imagination like I do.
That's great. That's
and
awesome.
We're going to have good times, much like we've had today
great.
on Podcastrophe.
This has been a great podcast.
We're touching each other's legs.
Yeah, we
folks.
are. Deal with it, America.
So, if Dave doesn't have any closing thoughts, I just want to thank everyone for listening this week.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm not entirely sure when this episode's going to air, so I'm not going to assign it a number title. This has been episode whatever. Thicc, Spooky Boiis.
Thicc, Spooky Boiis.
Thicc, Spooky Boiis. And you can check us out on any of the podcasting services. Just look for Podcastrophe or Podcastrophe Pod. Leave us a review on iTunes. It really, really helps us. Yeah. Check out our Patreon and the rest of the Journey into Comics network, because shows like Journey into Comics, Dungeons with Dudes, Brews with Dudes, Pour 360, all those great shows. Some
upcoming shows.
Dave's got an upcoming show.
I do, like later this month.
Like end
of this month.
It might get spooky. You should do a spooky one to end the month.
That's a good idea.
I think so.
Spook it up.
Mm-hmm. Get like the worst, just Spooktastic 9000. That's the title of the movie.
Spooktastic 9000. I like that.
Well, I like you, Dave.
I like you. Thank you. This has been fun.
And I appreciate you driving to my house and recording this episode.
I would do it any time.
And fighting the technical difficulties that we fought for almost an hour to start the show.
Well, you fought. I talked about potato chips.
Well, I called like Blaine and Nate, and no one would answer me. But through sheer willpower, anger, and probably a little bit too much cholesterol, we got this episode done. Thanks again for listening.
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll see you guys later. Say bye, Dave.
Bye, Dave.
See ya.
See you later.
Woke up this morning with my dick in my hand. Girl is to the right of me, just like our plan. It's gonna be a big dick day. 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 Big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day. It's gonna be a big dick day.